Hello everyone, thank you for being with us for this final SheBelieves Cup game of 2020. The hosts taking on a familiar foe of theirs in Japan, in Frisco, in Texas. The result between England and Spain earlier means the USA need a point or better to reclaim the SheBelieves Cup. England ending with a record of 1 win and 2 defeats. Spain level on points with the USA with 2 wins, but the United States have a superior goal difference, so a draw will be good enough. But as we know, that is rarely good enough when it comes to this particular nation. Japan have had a disappointing tournament so far. 2 defeats from their 2 games. Now they're up against the juggernaut that is the United States of America. Can they end on a high? We'll find out after we've heard the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem of Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and join Holly Tucker for the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You might notice the US women's national team are out on the pitch with their jerseys inside out. We understand a protest in relation to their ongoing lawsuit with the US Soccer Federation. More revelations coming out from that particular lawsuit that has been going on for over a year now, coming out today. I suggest everyone goes on the internet to have a look at that. It makes for stark reading. It is the final game of the SheBelieves Cup, the title still at stake. And the final matchup between two of the truly historic nations when it comes to the women's game. But on the evidence of this tournament, their current states couldn't be more different. USA looking pretty much unstoppable. Japan, we keep mentioning a team in transition. Well, they need to transition faster than they are if they're to enjoy any sort of success at their home Olympics this summer. Coin toss between the two respective captains, Megan Rapinoe for the United States on the left and Saki Kumagai on the right. Melissa Borjas is the referee today from Honduras, trailblazer in her own right, and the first female ref to referee in the top flight of the Honduran men's top flight. Also was a referee in the previous two Women's World Cups. Here are the teams then. For the USA, 6 changes to the side that beat Spain 1-0. Goalkeeper Adriana Franch wins her 4th cap in goal. Kelly O'Hara returns in defence with Tiana Davidson getting her first minutes of the tournament. Lindsay Horan, Tobin Heath and Kristen Press, who all started the game against England, they all return with Carly Lloyd among those dropping to the bench. Ayaka Yamashita returns in goal for Japan, as does captain Saki Kumagai and Moeka Munami, who partner each other in defence. Yuko Sugasawa comes in up front for Mana Iwabuchi, who scored the only goal for Japan during this tournament so far in their 3-1 defeat to Spain. England and Everton midfielder Izzy Christensen will be helping us guide you through this game. And Izzy, well, looking at this one on paper anyway, looks like it's going to be one winner.
Yeah, on paper certainly so. I hope not. I hope we've got a high quality game. Some of the matches in this tournament have been superb, and hopefully this one will be no different.
Japan don't look like the force they're used to. Have to see what they can put up against this United States side. As we prepare to get underway at the Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas, the final SheBelieves Cup game of 2020 vintage. It's been, as Izzy said, very entertaining, a few very good games. And there's one of the players of the tournament so far, Julie Ertz, picking out Rapinoe for an early chance. Flag is up. How impressive have you been with Julie Ertz this tournament? I mean, previously as well.
Well, yeah, for me, I voted for her in my Ballon d'Or ballot paper earlier on. I thought she had a superb World Cup for the US. I kind of see similarities between her and the way that she makes this US team tick to the way that Jordan Henderson does with Liverpool. Obviously her goal in the previous match against Spain proved pivotal in their quest to win this cup. So
Crystal Dunn, formerly of Chelsea, helping it back to goalkeeper Adriana Franch. Only her 4th appearance for the US women's national team. Made her debut in this tournament last year against England, which ended 2-all. England won the title, but it looks very much like the USA are going to get it back. Another defeat for England earlier on, a 1-0 loss to Spain. You can see highlights about the BBC Sport website and app. Set piece done for England. Not the first time we've said that in recent games, unfortunately. Here's Dal Kemper. Really cemented her place at the heart of that USA defence. Ertz. Sending away from Sugita.
Yeah, that's the first time in the match. Obviously, it's interesting to see how Kirsten Press is going to play. Sorry, Kristen Press is going to be playing in this front three. I think she'll have to adapt her game tonight and come short and come and show for the ball like Carly Lloyd does and Alex Morgan does when she's in the team, and link play up, especially with Haran and Muirs playing in midfield, who thoroughly enjoy running beyond, as we can see now, Haran chasing things down. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Press does tonight.
Scored that wonderful goal against England in the first game, Kristen Press, as she did in the World Cup as well.
Yeah, she's always shown glimpses of quality, but never really at such a high consistent level like some of the other attacking players in this US team. So I think it's really good to see her adapt.
Heath trying to get in behind. Clearance by Saki Kumagai. Playing in the centre of defence once again. Had a tough time in that first game against Spain. Back in the starting lineup today. Rapinoe's cross. Not too much on that for Muirs.
Yeah, Japan lining up with, on paper, looks like 4 centre-halves, playing across the back four. So they should be very well equipped to deal with crosses tonight.
Not one of their strong points.
No, and also on paper
Free kick to the USA.
Yeah, on paper it also tells us that they're potentially going to allow the US to get the ball into wide areas, and they're happy to perhaps defend those crosses and challenge themselves.
Lindsay Horan taking a tumble. Still down, this looks slightly concerning. Definite free kick, wasn't it?
I think so.
Tug of the shorts. Oh, and then a awkward landing on Lindsay Horan from Mina Tanaka. Interesting tournament for that as well, isn't it? Tug of the shorts for the tug of the hair from Georgia Stanway earlier on. Needs must sometimes, I guess.
Yep.
Let's grab hold of something.
Anything to win.
Early yellow card for Mina Tanaka. There was a striker, and that was very much a striker's defensive challenge, wasn't it?
Yeah, Japan's so good at playing with the ball at their feet, protecting the ball, moving the ball quickly, and just caught in possession there in a dangerous area. I think the likes of Megan Rapinoe will certainly, her eyes will be lighting up at this opportunity.
The stretcher is on. Lindsay Horan, looks like she's going to need it. It was more the way she was fallen onto, wasn't it, that looked like that caused the damage.
Yeah, it's always an interesting one with the shoulder, because it's not a normal injury in football. So when you get pain in your shoulder, you don't really know what's going on. So I'm guessing she'll just see how she is.
We saw Rose Lavelle warming up, just in case. It looks like she's going to come on. No precautions. Yeah. No risks taken over Lindsay Horan. Still holding her shoulder. Vlatko Andonovski is having to have to explain to her. I think she clearly wanted to carry on, didn't she? In the meantime, free kick. It is Rapinoe. Oh, it's brilliant! Megan Rapinoe gives the United States the lead inside 7 minutes in style.
Not bad at all.
Fabulous free kick from the United States skipper.
I mean, she struck it exceptionally well. Questions perhaps over the goalkeeper because it's not gone into the top corner. But the way that she struck it with that bend and that pace, even if the goalkeeper does get a hand to it, potentially she's pushing it into her own net anyway.
Whipped in very quickly. Megan Rapinoe's 52nd goal for the United States on her 168th cap. The Ballon d'Or winner strikes again. I know, not quite in the corner, but a lot of pace on it. It looks like maybe Lindsay Horan has won that argument with her manager because she's back on the field.
Yeah, Rosie Lavelle perhaps can take her shin pads off and sit back down for a bit.
She was stripped and ready to go, wasn't she, Rose Lavelle?
She was, always ready. But not a bad replacement in the 7th minute if she was needed.
Not at all, no.
An unbelievable player.
Bronze ball winner at the World Cup. Scored in the final. An excellent tournament. An early blow struck by the United States. A loose touch by Horan. Here's Tanaka. That's a lovely through ball. Here is Miura. Japan forced all the way back. That was a promising position.
Yeah, they're very possession-minded, the Japan team. Even if it does mean going all the way back to the goalkeeper to retain possession, they're happy to do so because that's how they're used to playing.
Sugita.
Yeah, it looks like the US just picking up where they left off against Spain in terms of that pressure in midfield. Forcing them into errors. That's what they're good at.
Lewis winning the header for Horan. I think Spain have been a really good story of this tournament, haven't they? Obviously lost very late on, narrowly, to the United States. 2 wins against Japan and England, pretty impressively. And they've played so well. They've had the performances as well as the results, and one to watch.
I think so, yeah, and I alluded to the other day that they're not preparing this summer for a major competition either. Obviously, with them not being at Tokyo, they've got that time, and you can tell that they're just in this transitional period where I'm guessing what they'll be working on over the next 12 months will be finishing the chances they're creating, which 12 months isn't a bad amount of time to be working on that.
Sugita, lovely ball. Here is Tanaka up against Crystal Dunn. Not an easy proposition. Although it looks like they will get a corner out of it.
Yeah, not much gets past Crystal Dunn. Her 1v1 defending is exceptional. She's strong, quick, stays on her feet. Well, perhaps not there, but she still won the ball.
That's the important thing. She's the only US player to start every single game in 2020. Such an important player for them, and only fairly recently becoming a left back on a regular basis. She's made the position her own. Let's see what Japan can do from this corner. It's a decent one. Contact, firstly from a Japanese player, but cleared by the United States.
Yeah, Crystal Dunn's a player that I'm sure any manager would love to have her in your squad just because of how versatile she is. And her athletic attributes kind of mean she can play anywhere. Laterally, on the right, on the left.
And work their way out of a tight space. First touch from Mamiki, takes it straight to goalkeeper French.
Yeah, as much as Japan like to play the ball short passing, they aren't afraid to find a longer ball if they see the run, and they've got players in the team all over the park who can pick out those passes. Like we've just seen there, better control, and they've got the number 10 in advanced position.
Lovely take from Kristen Press. Rapinoe, the goal scorer, and that's done forward. But two Japanese players around her, still manages to get the cross in. It's nicely done from Rapinoe, picked up by Mewis. Chance put wide, but the referee had already blown the whistle.
Yeah, really clever run by Sam Mewis there. Set piece specialist Megan Rapinoe, not just with the ball at her feet, with the ball in her hands as well.
The referee spotted something she didn't like, quite sure what. Either way, Kristen Press sends that wide. Such a dynamic midfield, isn't it, for the United States?
Yeah, I always think that Mewis and Haran are quite similar in terms of what they bring to a game, and Rosie Lavelle offers that kind of prowess on the ball in terms of dribbling and committing players and unlocking midfield and defences that way. But yeah, playing just in front of Julia, you know that you've got the licence to just get beyond, because she's got the organisational skills and the defensive mindset just to sweep up behind and keep everything secure.
Perfect crossfield ball to Rapinoe. Hammers the cross in. Way too much.
Yeah, that's the thing when you're playing 1v1 up against Megan Rapinoe. She's not shy at all to cross and to shoot with her left. So if you show her down the outside, she will still deliver. If you show her inside, she's obviously got an incredible right foot and she can just bend it across.
Yamashita back in goal for Japan. Played the first game. And Kaida had a chance against England. Yamashita is #1 at the moment. Played all 4 games at the World Cup. The guy charged down, but the referee sees an infringement. That's loose from Japan, not the first time we've seen that this tournament. Cross though, straight at Yamashita. Most of the goals Japan have conceded this tournament have been from their own errors, which is worrying.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's something which this Japan team's been known for the last 10 years is retaining the ball, keeping the ball, being good in tight areas.
The flick on. Possession back though with the USA. Are currently on a 9-match winning streak under his charge, Zlatko Andonovski, and they haven't conceded since his first game in charge, a 3-2 win against Sweden back in November. They are a tough nut to crack, to say the least. Julia Ertz is down. not for long. Well, like it was mainly of her own making, actually. Tenacious, but ball is back. The navy blue shirts of the United States. O'Hara, now Horan. Europe dispossessed by Press, who is highlighting the fact that she was being fouled by the referee.
Yeah, I just seen her dropping deep again there to get involved in play. She's doing well so far.
That was coolly done by the goalkeeper. I don't think that's going to leave that man's possession now. Sends it forward. Press did look offside.
Yeah, with Japan pressing with a 2 up front, they need to work better to stop Juliet's getting on the ball. One of them needs to press, one of them needs to come around and pick Juliet's up, because at the moment she's getting on the half turn easily.
Here's Nakajima. Scored against the United States. Competition last year. It was her last goal for Japan. Here's Minami. Doko. Goes for a long ball towards Sugasawa. Defended fairly routinely by the United States. That's good play though by Kumagai. Get the ball back.
Yeah, midfield brain of Kumagai, reading the play there and stepping in. Still like to see her higher up though.
Some territory for Japan. Here's Tanaka. Now Hina Sugita spotted the run of Sugasawa. So did Davidson.
Yeah, you can tell from the way in which Japan have set up that they're looking for that blindside run behind the centre halves, in behind the back line, because they've got the ability to find them, to find each other's runs. But at the moment, it's not really, they're not executing it correctly.
On the back again, Japan. Sugasawa. An ambitious effort from there.
Yeah, the US certainly not playing with the same amount of tempo that they did against Spain for now. Not necessarily the same intensity.
Maybe the early goal.
Yeah, it's given them that cushion.
It's a trademark of theirs, isn't it? Scoring early, quick start.
We're always highly motivated by the pre-match build-up out there in the States. Every time I've played in this tournament, even warming up, you feel pumped. With the music and the DJ and everything that's going on in the stadium beforehand, it's enough to motivate you if you're not already motivated to be playing for your country.
Would that work in England, Izzy, do you think?
I'd love to see it over here.
We're just all a bit of a cynical bunch, though, aren't we? I'm not sure if that would... There'll be pictures of people in the crowd with their arms folded, probably not like the United States crowd. They're all pumped up.
Or perhaps we need more popcorn and fizzy drinks in the stands.
Now that, I'm all for. Tanaka. Doko getting forward from right back. Decent give and go. Too much on that, and again I think Crystal Dunn would have turned on the afterburners had she had to.
Yeah, I'm struggling to see so far how Japan are going to break down the US in this game. I think physically 1v1 the US are stronger. The Japan don't seem to be moving the ball as well as they have done previously. And it's almost like they're searching for the perfect goal every time.
Error from Lewis. A corner kick for Japan.
Yeah, I feel like the US respond better to intensity and to pressure, and you can kind of feel that Japan are kind of absorbing the pressure and the intensity out of the game, and it's forcing the US to make some cheap mistakes. We've seen so far in midfield, Haran and Tobin Heath as well, giving the ball away cheaply.
Mamiki's corner, it's deep, cleared by Haran. Sugita didn't fancy putting it back in. Japan build again. Tanaka. She's playing as a striker, Tanaka, against England. I think she's actually been more effective, slightly deeper here. She's hit that against Rapinoe. I think the referee's pulled up for a high boot. Uncharacteristic error from Julie Ertz this time. Sugita can't find a passage through to make the pass forward, so he's forced to go back. Given away by Miyake. The United States can break forward. Precision on the pass, not there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what Mewis was trying there. She had more time and more grass in front of her to stride into with the ball. She had runners either side of her in press and Rapinoe.
Oh dear. Goalkeeper. Press. 2-0.
Not bad at all. Say it again.
The Japanese goalkeeper, Ayaka Yamashita, the architect of her own downfall there, passing it to Rapinoe, to Kristen Press, and the dink and the finish, and the United States have now a 2-goal cushion.
I mean, the awareness to do that, superb. But initially when Megan Rapinoe played her the ball, I thought she's opened up her body the wrong way with her back to goal. But in fact, opening up with her back to goal gave her that disguise. And the goalkeeper certainly didn't expect the dink.
That was class, wasn't it, from Kristen Press?
2 quality goals in the tournament for her.
But again, that is a huge mistake, isn't it? That's led to another goal. The problem for Japan is they've scored just once this whole tournament, and they don't really look like they have a really potent threat up front.
No, like I just said, I'm struggling to see how they're going to create or master a goal. Just the superiority of the US physically and organisationally. We just saw then Juliet's giving the ball away cheaply in midfield. But the way in which they swarm the ball, you kind of think that they're not even going to score from a mistake made by the US either.
Because they rectify it so quickly, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. It's that transition. So important nowadays in football.
It was a huge error, but what a finish. Perfect,
Yeah.
just under the bar.
Precision.
Good hold-up play from Tanaka. Sugita. A bit quicker from Japan now. Nakajima. Finds Miyaki. Wasted.
Yeah, like you see there, they do so well to break down the press. They switch the play really well, but they just haven't got that pace and that power to hurt them once you've beaten the first press. And they're resorting to crossing the ball like that, when in reality they haven't necessarily got a number 9 or a goal threat in the box when crossing the ball like that. Which again makes me wonder how they're going to create anything.
Mana Iwabuchi started the first 2 games. She's being rested to the bench at the moment, but she looks like Japan's greatest creative force, really.
Yeah, she's got bags of talent, loads of ability on the ball, but perhaps the reason that she's not started the game tonight is that she's slight and she's not the strongest. Is she going to be a threat to the US back line from the start? Not sure.
US wins the header. Haran, Ertz. She's also got your shirt, hasn't she, Iwabuchi?
Yeah, and I've got hers.
Good.
We swapped at the Under-17 Women's World Cup. We both scored.
Press. On for another.
We both wore number 10 that tournament, so it was only right in the team hotels afterwards that we swapped shirts.
Not a bad one to have.
No. Hope she thinks the same.
I'm sure she does. I'm sure it's taken pride of place. Making some good ground, finds Tanaka up against Crystal Dunn. Huge cheer from the USA crowd. Real pride in the defending.
Yeah, solid. Kind of take back what I said earlier about her not going to ground. If it means stopping the cross, you go to ground.
That's the thing, isn't it? Decision making. She makes the right one.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Another corner. Japanese. Made by Rapinoe. Kojima. Doko, a few options lining the edge of the area. Let's wins it. Sugita out-muscled. Lewis running into a bit of a cul-de-sac. Kumagai does just enough.
She got away with that there a little bit. She made it look really easy. I think she's gone to clear it and she's miscued it. Actually, it turned out to be quite good defending.
Doko towards Sugasawa. Surely offside. Momiki. Flag stayed down.
That's what I mean about the superiority physically. Japan do so well to get on the half turn, open up, play those threatening balls into the back line. But just the physicality of the US centre halves is just too much.
Still very much a work in progress, this Japan team.
Yeah, we talk about transitions a lot, but I just think that Japan have dominated the ball in previous years for so long. Technically, they've always played the same way. And I think now we're seeing such a kind of shift in the game in terms of physicality and dominance, and we talk about fine margins, and you kind of just see it in the last sort of 2 years. Japan have been out-muscled. But when we played them last year at the SheBelieves Cup, a comfortable 3-0 win, we could have scored more in that game as well.
Very similar squads actually to the one that lined up this time last year at the SheBelieves Cup, and I think this is the worrying thing. It doesn't seem to have progressed an awful lot.
No, it's hard to kind of pinpoint what they're trying to do. I think they need to find a way to adapt their style a little bit that can be more effective.
On the free kick to the United States. That team that won the World Cup in 2011 was just so good, and then narrowly missed out on 2015. I say narrowly, they were absolutely smashed in the final, but they just haven't really come close since then. United States winning it again in 2019, and Japan losing in the round of 16 to the Dutch.
No, it happens, but that's what's great about football, is that you see changes in dominance.
Well, you say that. United States have been there or thereabouts,
Yeah, I
haven't they?
guess that's true.
But yes, no, I think you're right.
Japan didn't necessarily dominate in those periods. They obviously won the World Cup in 2011, and getting to the final the year after. The following World Cup is obviously a huge achievement. But yeah, since then we haven't seen any kind of dominance in terms of the way they play and having that kind of imposing factor on teams that they play against. But like I said, I think it's that physicality that they're lacking.
I think this is what critics of England are worried about, isn't it? That in terms of the World Cup, England came pretty close, actually, against the United States. I know it doesn't seem like it, but if you rewatch that game, very close. And then in the final, the Dutch obviously did exceptionally well to get to the final, but they didn't really lay a glove on them, did they? I think this is why the England team raised expectations so much, and it's been a really difficult time ever since, really, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, semi-final of the World Cup last year, when you watch the game back and you look at the way in which we played in that game, that was probably one of the best games that we've played, and we peaked exactly when we needed to. And it comes down to the fine margins, and we missed out on a World Cup final because of a toenail. The length of a toenail, which when you put it like that, it wasn't a lack of ability, it wasn't a dip in performance, it wasn't not being able to rise to the occasion. All of those boxes were ticked. We did. It was just those fine margins, and if VAR didn't exist, then where would we be? And I'm certainly not an advocate of VAR, not just for that reason, but so many others.
The dip has been quite alarming, though. I think that's been the big concern. There's Sugita for Japan. Miura wanted it short. Had a good period after the World Cup, Japan. Won 5 games, scoring 19, conceding 0, but you might question the sort of opposition, because then they came into the SheBelieves Cup and were outplayed by Spain. Looked a little bit more solid against England, but it was a deserved victory for Phil Neville, and again, being out-muscled really today by the USA.
Yeah, for me as well, I can't necessarily comment as such on the domestic league in Japan.
Well, it's worth saying that they're out of season.
Well, that's one thing. Another thing is, how competitive is the league out there? I don't know. So perhaps that could be the difference. They're not going to see any changes in the next year or two, but over the course of the next 5 or 10 years, if the league's strong out there, then fair enough, stay. If it means an improvement in the national team, then perhaps more of the Japanese players need to be playing over in Europe and in the US to increase that exposure to the physical leagues over here in Europe, the tempo of play, and see the WSL, the way in which this league's improved over the last 2-3 years in terms of physically, the professionalism of teams. It's only going to mean that we're going to get stronger and more ready to compete on the international stage.
So it's only Saki Kumagai at the moment, isn't it? This Japanese team that doesn't play domestically. Nice turn from Mamiki. Nakajima. That's the closest Japan have come.
Yeah, again, coming from a mistake in midfield, Lindsay Horan just being sloppy in possession.
Approaching half-time. Japan have shown glimpses, haven't they? But mainly down to a bit of sloppiness from the United States, who've looked more than comfortable. Miura. Tanaka takes it well. Mamiki. Good play from Yuka Mamiki. Couldn't pick out a white shirt. Here is Miura. Shut down by Lindsay Horan.
Yeah, you can just tell when Miura's got on the ball there, she's looking for that pass, that reverse pass. She needs a blindside run. It's obviously a tactic of theirs to catch the US centre half, especially on the half turn. I'd like to see one of the Japanese players pull the trigger in one of those moments instead of trying to drag the ball across the centre half. Across the 6-yard box, sorry.
Yeah, the header was won by Tanaka. But an easy take for French. You're absolutely right. I think you alluded to it earlier, didn't you? Trying to score the perfect goal. Preston got away from a swarm of white shirts. These players. Here is Doko giving it back to the United States. Here's Crystal Dunn. Juliet's directing traffic, not happy clearly with the options.
No, you can see with Japan coming into a high press, the US are just looking for that ball over the top every time, and that's what she's saying there. She's demanding the forward run.
It's promising from the USA. Corner kick.
It surprised me actually the way in which Japan have set up. They have gone with a sort of a medium to high press against the likes of Megan Rapinoe, Kirsten Press and Tobin Heath. There's a lot of pace in that front line for the US, and it's a risky game to play, especially when you've got two midfielders joining in Mures and Moran.
You've got to fancy the United States against this Japanese side in set pieces as well. Hooked towards goal by Ertz. Tobin Heath couldn't keep it in.
It's a common theme. They're looking for that Julie Ertz front post run from either side. Saw against Spain, she was very threatening from that position, and then ironically that's where she got her goal from as well. I say ironically, it's not. It's planned.
No stoppage time. Free-flowing first half, but it's been a dominant one from USA. 2 goals, 2 brilliant finishes from 2 of their veteran players, Megan Rapinoe and Kristen Press, giving them a very comfortable half-time lead at the Toyota Stadium in Texas. Half-time, the final game of the 2020 SheBelieves Cup. It's United States 2, Japan 0. So here's what's coming up across BBC Sport over the next few days. The All England Championships in the badminton, Thursday at 11 o'clock on the red button and the BBC iPlayer. And Friday from 8:30 on the BBC Sport website and the BBC iPlayer. It's Sam Quek's penalty challenge for this year's Sport Relief. The All England Championships continues on Friday at 10 AM on the red button and the BBC iPlayer.
is Jordan Nobbs. Bit of space for the Arsenal midfielder. White knew she was offside, left it. Here is Paris. Wahhabi to deal with. And Paris deals with her brilliantly. No finish on the end of it for England.
Fantastic bit of skill, but it's just what you're going to do at the end. You know, she could have picked out a pass there, just whipped it across the front of goal and nobody could get onto the end of it.
Here is Daly. Does well to hold on to that under pressure. Scott takes charge. Looking for White, who could be in here for England. First big chance of the game. And over the bar from Ellen White.
Yeah, just on her left foot, just gets completely underneath the ball.
Lovely ball over the top and the flag stays down. Here is Jordan Nobbs for England. White making the run. Paris following up. And Spain survive. Big chance for England. And they can't convert. They had the bodies forward. But in the end, Spain got enough bodies in the way. That was the best spell we've seen from Spain so far, and they could be in here. It's sloppy from England. Spain with a great chance for the opener, and Telford saves from Marassa. What a huge moment that would have been on her first start for her country.
Poor mistake. It was Tony Duggan who was waiting for the ball to come to her. Marassa showed a real change of pace to get forward. I think Carly Telford saved it with her face. Yeah, she did.
Again, lovely vision. Pateas drives it into Steph Houghton. And Greenwood will clear away. It's given away by England. And Carly Telford was stranded there. If that was on target, that was 1-0 Spain. England will try and force it through. Here is Paris again. The red shirts arriving, and the snapshot is into the side netting from Chloe Kelly.
She's looking much better. Good turn and snapshot.
Hermoso's delivery, and it's a good header, and Spain have the lead. Alexia Putellas with her second goal of the tournament, and England trails Spain by a goal to nil.
It's a real good header, real powerful into the top corner. Carly Telford can't do anything about it. Decent delivery, got enough power on, but what a header from Putellas.
Good delivery, and that was the chance. And Nikita Paris knows it.
She has to score. What a delivery this is. Just goes with her right foot and can't direct it on target.
Phil, after such a positive performance in the first half, how disappointing and frustrating was it to concede in the way that you did and for this game to end with defeat?
Yeah, I'm frustrated. I'm a bit angry. It's not good enough, the second half performance. We started playing standstill football. I thought first half we controlled the game. Even the last 5 minutes, I thought we showed some urgency for the first time in the second half. I've got to say the two kids that came on were sensational. Russo and Chloe Kelly, they changed the game. They played without fear, they played with no ego, they played with total humility, and that was the biggest plus of the second half. But apart from that second half performance was nowhere near good enough.
How do you sum up the tournament as a whole?
Well, you know, there's been some massive pluses. Carly Telford has been sensational in all games. I think Nikita Paris is getting back to somewhere like her best. There's been some good individual performances, but ultimately we will be judged on our results. You know, I'm not going to hide behind the fact that this was a tournament where we wanted to experiment with younger players. They've come in and they've been really well. They've done really well. But ultimately we'll be judged on our results, and I don't think the results have been good enough, and I take full responsibility for that.
You take full responsibility then, you say you'll be judged on results. Questions will be asked, there'll be scrutiny on your future as well. Are you the right man to lead in?
No, the questions should be asked, because, you know, I expect better. I expect better of a team that I put onto the field than what we got in the second half. I think even in the first half, when, you know, there was some positive bits, I still expect better. So, you know, I'll always look at myself, and like I said to people yesterday, that you know, I'll go away, I'll reflect, and we'll take it from there.
How do you turn this round ahead of the Olympics and the Euros?
Well, the Olympics is totally different. We're talking about Great Britain, so that's nothing to do with England.
I hope you brought your A game.
On your marks and get set for Sport Relief 2020.
Competition started already, people.
Are there any coppers in this city that aren't actually bent?
Come on, Andy! I cannot believe how bad that shot is.
Let's get dancing.
Stars of sport and screen join together for an unmissable night of entertainment, fun and fundraising. Oh! Sport Relief, Friday at 7 on BBC One and iPlayer.
Of a miracle try. Welcome back for the second half of this final 2020 SheBelieves Cup game. United States on course to reclaim their SheBelieves Cup title. They needed a point coming into this one, and looks like they're going to take all three. 2-0 they lead in the second half against Japan. Goals from Megan Rapinoe and Kristen Press. And changes for both sides, it looks like, as well. Mana Iwabuchi on for Japan in place of Mina Tanaka. I think saw Becky Sauerbrunn on for the United States of America. Trying to get confirmation of those changes for you. But either way, Izzy Christensen, regulation first half really from the United States.
Yep, fairly routine. I think on paper as expected, in reality, yeah, exactly the same. Japan struggling physically and to keep up with the intensity of the US.
Japan, it looks like they're going to go home with no points on the board. Defeats to Spain, then to England. They haven't really threatened, so far at least, against the USA. Davidson, who's come off for the United States. Becky Sauerbrunn partnering Abby Dahlkemper at the heart of that defence. Consistent partnership, those two. Free kick for Japan.
Yeah, I think the introduction of Becky Sauerbrunn perhaps is to just solidify the back four a little bit more. I thought they looked a little bit sloppy towards the end of the first half. They'll definitely want a clean sheet. They've got that partnership, Dahlkemper and Sauerbrunn. The subtle changes that the US have made haven't necessarily dropped the intensity or quality, but when you've got established partnerships, you can always tell that the team will feel more confident.
They have this remarkable record. They haven't conceded in the last 8 games, 8.5 now.
Yeah, and they'll certainly want to keep that record intact.
We mentioned the women that play in the Japanese domestic league aren't in season. The USA aren't either, although this team have played an awful lot together in the Olympic qualifiers and other such friendlies and things like that. The NWSL starts next month. So I know people have been saying that the United States are in the off-season, but I don't know, you just get the feeling they're never really off, are they?
No, they're not, and I think they proved that against Spain in the previous match. That game was played with such high intensity, very transitional, and that's hard physically and mentally. And the fact that the US stayed in it against a team with the vast majority of the players in season, mid-season throughout, predominantly the Spanish league especially, and to match the intensity of the way in which Spain moved the ball for an out-of-season team in the US, it's pretty impressive.
Sugasawa allowed to turn, finding Iwabuchi. Tried to return the favour, but very congested.
Having said that, the SheBelieves Cup, obviously playing in it for the last 4 or 5 years, you can just feel kind of how much it means to this US team to make sure that they win it. And obviously after us winning it last year, retaining that trophy is their #1 priority.
That was late. Tobin Heath on Shuri Miyake. I think that is correct decision, a yellow card. Intended to go for the ball, but took a slice of Miyake as well.
commonly known as a striker's challenge.
Committed, can't deny that, but mistimed. Good chance from the set piece. Moves it for Nakajima. Aquino sticks out a long leg. Oh, the effort, that's a decent one as well. Goalkeeper's lost it. And French does just enough to keep it out. That is the closest that Japan have come. Offside, Mana Iwabuchi. Bit of an awkward one for the keeper.
Yeah, it was struck very well, very cleanly. And I think French has struggled to see the ball come through the amount of bodies that are in the box, hence why it's a bit of an awkward save. She's got away with the spill, if you like, with Iwabuchi being offside. Japan do have that type of quality though, from the outside the box. Like we talked about earlier, they do like to score the perfect goal, but we've seen a lot in the past that they do have the ability to strike from distance. And that was a little sign of that. You can tell by the reaction of French and the US defenders especially, how much they want to keep that clean sheet record intact by the way in which they congratulated her on that. Just as important for the defence as it is for the forwards to score goals.
Offside, Tobin Heath. Clearly offside.
Yeah, really good from the US backline there, all stepping out together.
Sends it over to the far side.
It's an intelligent press by America here, the way in which they've just set Japan into a trap to say they stood on Saki Kumagai, the main ball playing distributor at the back.
It's an intelligent run as well from Haran. Touch just took it away from her.
Touch has been a little bit off tonight, Lindsay Haran. Defensively protecting the ball, and then a better touch there, she's probably got a shot on goal.
Iwabuchi doubled up on. Good idea.
Again, the neat blindside run. Just the weight of pass letting Iwabuchi down there.
With this style of play, you just have to be so precise. Finding a few openings in this second half, though, Japan. Iwabuchi's already made a positive impact.
Without a doubt.
To Tobin Heath. It's heavy touch from her as well.
Yeah, Japan playing very narrow, mid block.
But terrific ball. His touch lets her down. Moving forward towards Sugasawa.
Yeah, I feel like at half-time, Japan have been given some information on that press and they seem to have much more of a grip of stopping the US play out from the back.
Still Dunn uses her pace to get onto that ball. Waiting for options. The pass intended for Kristen Press is cut out. Play for Miyake, challenging for that ball. Got something on it as well. Iwabuchi was looking for the next pass, wasn't she? Put it back here, Nakajima.
There's that trap again from Rapinoe, and it's risky. Coming over and pressing the opposite centre half. Good play from Japan and they get out of it.
Be a chance here, Nakajima. Iwabuchi! Brilliant goal! Japan back in it. Really well worked. And Mana Iwabuchi makes it 2-1.
Let's come from the press and the switch of play. If Megan Rapinoe jumps onto the other centre half, the midfield have got to step with her. And like we were saying earlier about Japan trying to score the perfect goal, you're thinking there, Nakajima, you wanted to square the ball, but she's actually picked out Iwabuchi, and like we just said, Iwabuchi providing like quality in abundance. That's a great finish.
Really is. Finding the corner under a lot of pressure. Japan's second goal of the tournament. They both come from Mana Iwabuchi. Not quite as spectacular as her first one against Spain. If you haven't seen that, by the way, you must try. It is unbelievable. Immediately, though, USA look to respond. A bit too clever from Rapinoe. Should note they finally conceded.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. The clean sheet.
It's gonna sting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bitter, and obviously now Japan are back in the game.
One they haven't been in for most of it.
It's one thing I would say though after playing against Japan at international level is that they won't give up. And they won't change the way that they approach the game just if they're 2-0 down, especially. Yeah, for me, Sam Mewis needs to work harder there and get across. She's seen Megan Rapinoe jump off the press. If Megan Rapinoe makes that decision to do so, you just have to go with her.
from there, though. That was well crafted, wasn't it, from Japan? Mallory Pugh coming on.
Yeah. I'm picking the bones of the US press, but in fact, very good goal.
Double sub for the USA, and it's the iconic Megan Rapinoe who is making her way from the field. Scored the first goal, Megan Rapinoe. Mallory Pugh coming on for her. Crystal Dunn coming off for Casey Short. Two pretty young players for two very experienced ones. And immediately Casey Short gives it away. It's interesting from Vlatko Andonovski. Perhaps he's wants to test their mettle a little bit because they've just conceded. Let's see what they're made of. It's taken nicely by Sugita. Another shooting opportunity here. Trying to thread that ball through the eye of a needle.
Yeah, naturally Japan have just gained an extra gear and a load more rhythm. They seem to be really growing. You can already tell the centre halves, Kumagai and Minami, are already much higher. They're playing the ball out like holding midfielders.
Iwabuchi always an option. Couldn't quite keep that in. Mallory Pugh, 21 years old, but it's her 63rd cap. Can't really compare, can you, when think about the European teams, just simply don't play as many games as the US, Canada, teams like that.
No, incomparable. Sloppy then, again from O'Hara. Just giving the ball away cheaply in dangerous areas. It's given Japan an invitation just to say, attack us.
Free kick finds Kumagai. She was free. Perhaps could have done better with that one.
Yeah, and if she gets the call from behind her, Iwabuchi's in a better position. Unmarked at the back post, she can bring it down, and with her quality in those areas.
Look a bit more aggressive as well, don't they, Japan?
They look like a new team. Looking at their midfield four, two banks of 4-4-2. The two have managed to deal with Julie Ertz, and the four, they're doing a really good job at narrowing the pitch, forcing the US down one side and saying, if you want to go play through us, you're going to have to be very accurate with how you do so. They look much more organised.
Doko giving away a free kick. Pensive looking bench. United States. With the delivery. by Sugasawa. Muir is closed down, prevented from making the clearance. O'Hara. It's a good take from Pugh. Flagged offside, yes.
Questionable decision. It was a great ball over from O'Hara. Beautiful weight. Accurate. And definitely not offside. From what I could see.
I was going to say it was a close one, but you're a bit more decisive than me, clearly. Doko. He's playing with a bit more purpose now, Japan, and confidence. It is bar, perhaps, Saki Kumagai. Exceptionally young side, and maybe confidence plays more of a part when your squad is that young.
Yeah, confidence and experience. Two key attributes to have in a team.
Iwabuchi allowed to run. Perfect ball in. Short is there. USA scramble it clear.
Japan have just got their flow now. They're threading passes in, they've got runners beyond. It's a bit more like the Japan we know. I'm not too sure what's...
The flag was up for offside. I'm not sure if Nakajima was, or perhaps a foul on the keeper.
Can't necessarily be helped on the follow through.
A hurried clearance.
Be interesting to see if the introduction of Carly Lloyd and or Rosie Lavelle will be soon, because I think one or both of those players can make a strong impact, help the US gain a bit more control. Giving the ball away too cheaply, transitioning the ball too much.
Sugasawa.
Tobin Heath has been quiet today as well. I think she's had a quiet tournament in general.
Miura, only Iwabuchi to aim for. With a miscued clearance from Kelly O'Hara. She had a sensational World Cup, Tobin Heath, didn't she? Yes, she's not sparkled quite as brightly during the SheBelieves Cup, but undoubted talent and ability. There was near person. Sugasawa nearly found Sugita.
Yeah, and Carly Lloyd entering the pitch. Yeah, in the first half, Japan just didn't look at all threatening, even off set pieces, and all of a sudden, it's amazing how much confidence they can gain from a goal. And all of a sudden, they're looking like they're going to threat from a set piece.
Beautiful one-touch play. On diagonal only finds Casey short. It possibly may have happened anyway, the introduction of Carly Lloyd, but that's quite a compliment, really, putting her on for Japan. Oh, that is sloppy.
There's been so many of those passes tonight that the US have just not been taken care of, making cheap errors, unforced errors.
Kristen press coming off, and the Toyota Stadium rises to welcome another icon of the women's game, Carly Lloyd, on 294th appearance for the USA. Rose Lavelle also on for Sam Mewis.
Yeah. Called it. I think the game needed a bit of an injection of intensity, spark. Carly Lloyd will bring that hunger to score a goal. Rosie Lavelle will bring that creativity, commit defenders, their ability to dribble with the ball. I can almost guarantee Carly Lloyd will probably score.
She might have a chance here. Casey Short, though, has overrun it, but that is some scintillating pace shown by the substitute left back. About a 20-yard head start and still managed to get there first.
And that's out of season.
That's not even me in season. Any season, for that matter. Namiki. Iwabuchi's made the overlapping run. Here is Iwabuchi. Onto the second ball, she's looked sharp. She's won another corner. Taken short. Always looking for Iwabuchi, well gathered by French. Carly Lloyd giving chase. Anticipation from the goalkeeper. Lovely touch. Miyake. Sagita keeping possession. Nakajima. I think she was trying to aim for Sugasawa. He was picked up by Iwabuchi. Now Mamiki.
The blindside run again.
Lovely movement from Miura off the post. How close was that to an equaliser? Still alive for Japan. The tightest of angles, nearly 2-2.
Finally an end product is revealed from one of those superb runs in off the back shoulder of the centre half. It's Mallory Pugh there. Not too sure how French is getting beaten on a near post in that situation.
Not sure if it hit her or not, but it just took a touch of her either way. Japan have been excellent in the second half. Namiki just running into traffic.
Just watching Irabuchi's movement off the ball. She's dropping her shoulder, receiving the ball one way, taking the defender the other way. She's so smart with the way she plays. You can just feel like when she does make those types of movements, teammates are just finding her every time. They're laying the ball off to her so she can step onto it.
The value of that shirt's going up, I think.
Definitely.
Might even go for a more than a bottle of hand sanitizer at the moment. You never know.
Not too sure.
Heath gives it away now. Miura. Sugasawa. Can't keep hold of it. Try and win it back. Deft touch by Tobin Heath. Takes one too many. And Sugita has it back. This is much more like the Japan we used to see on a regular basis, isn't it?
Yeah, they're setting traps defensively. Offensively, they're moving the ball quicker than they did in the first half. They're forcing USA to make unforced errors. Tobin Heath, they're giving the ball away on more than one occasion centrally.
Another alteration for the United States. Tobin Heath, who has been quiet when this game is off. And the searing pace of Lynn Williams coming on.
USA substitution. Leading the game, number 17, Tobin Heath. Entering the game, number 13.
That is the 6th and final substitution that the USA can make. Pugh trying to cut it back. And the miss from Carly Lloyd.
Touch from Rosie Lavelle initially, superb. Perfect cutback from Mal Pugh, and I think you would bet Carly Lloyd to put that in the back of the net 10 times out of 10. She'll be disappointed with that. But as she used to say when I played with her briefly at Manchester City, there will be another chance.
It's that mentality that's got to where she is, isn't it? This is the side against whom she scored a 16-minute hat-trick in a World Cup final in 2015. Nicely done from Lavelle. There's Williams. Too many bodies.
Again, just seeing the injection of intensity by Rosie Lavelle. First touch was brilliant. The second touch, she's bringing Lynn Williams into the game.
Lloyd to Williams. Never stayed down. minutes to go. Now Kemper. Great movement from Lavelle. You can't take it in her stride. Iwabuchi. Well. I think the referee may have corrected herself there. Swipe from behind from Iwabuchi. Yes, the referee pointed in the wrong direction, didn't she? First time around.
Good to see her rectify. Yeah, it's pretty blatant.
Darko input. There's the back post. Corner kick. I'm afraid that's on camera. Poor girl taking a tumble. It's getting very late, isn't it?
Perhaps not over there.
Haran! USA wrap-up victory from the set piece. Lindsay Haran rising above everyone. They have their 2-goal cushion back, and that should be the win. Another one for the USA.
Yeah, great delivery in by Malpue. Front post run from Julia. It just takes 2 Japanese players out of the equation. A standing jump from Lindsay Haran. Good header.
Ramiki off for Japan.
Entering the game, number 11, Riko Ayuki.
Riko Yuiki coming on. The young player. Ooh. Goalkeeper's got away with that. Caught by Williams.
Very risky by Yamashita there. Lynn Williams has got heaps of pace, the way in which you've just seen it happen a few seconds before. She seized an opportunity to go and press, and she's almost, the gamble's almost paid off.
Well, the referee's given a free kick to Japan. She probably should have let that go. There was an advantage to be had. Iwabuchi. Williams passing the ball to herself because she can get onto her own through ball. Sharp turn. Casey short. Over by Minami.
Yeah, that's the thing with Lynn Williams. Seeing her play when we were in the ICC Women's Trophy in pre-season with Leon for North Carolina Courage. She's absolutely rapid, but then I'd question the end product that comes with it.
It's quite a common occurrence, isn't it? That get so far on pace, such a precious commodity, but you get the finished article, then you become world class, don't you?
Yeah, definitely, and it's not always the player and their stats, as in are they getting an end product once they get in those areas. It's more like has the player got options in the box when you're so much quicker than the majority of your team, especially when the number 9, especially in the US formation, drops deeper to get hold of, to get involved in the build-up play. It's always difficult to spin and get into the box. As a midfielder, it's your worst nightmare when you're 60, 75 minutes into a game and you see the likes of perhaps someone with the same sort of pace as Lynn Williams come on the field. You've still got to make those box runs. But that's when the game comes to life in those moments.
Mara down. Seems like a good time to ask about yourself. Is he not too far away from making your second Everton debut?
No, not too far at all.
Good, good, good. A lot of good stuff coming out of the club this week, especially with Everton.
Yep, plenty of good news. Some real strong investment in the women's team.
And a new stadium, well, not next to, but very near Goodison, which can only be a positive.
Yeah, definitely. Central, about half a mile from Goodison Park. Really accessible for the fans. We had a great turnout for our first game there against Man United a few weeks ago, just before the international break. Plenty of work still to be done on the stadium as well.
Subasawa takes aim. It's blocked by Becky Sauber. Women's Super League does return. The weekend. FA Cup games as well. London Derby. Between Arsenal and Spurs. An audacious chip there. And Rashita retreating fast. Carly Lloyd did just that against Japan, didn't she, in the World Cup final?
That's exactly what I thought as soon as she pulled the trigger. I was also thinking what I said earlier about there being another chance. I wouldn't put that down as a chance. But she's made one.
Neatly done by Short. Ruko Ueki, 20 years old. Winding up for the shot. Nice disguise on that. Miura. That's a good cross. No one on the end of it.
Yeah, a really good build-up play from Japan. Initially the disguised shot and the threaded pass into the feet of Iwabuchi. And Casey Short on that left-hand side, potentially showing a little bit of naivety in terms of how she's committed herself. And she's got the overload on her side to deal with. And for all the intricacies that Japan have shown in the game, that cross was fired across with a lot of pace and venom. Not too sure the strikers were quite ready for it.
It was all finesse up until then.
Yep.
It's not had one of her better games. Iwabuchi. Ertz is back there, showing her sheer strength. Miura. Ueki. Defending O'Hara. Ueki's got it back. Nearly found Miura. That's a late challenge. Yellow card for the substitute.
Bit of advantage to be played there as well, I think. But understandably, the referee wants to enforce the laws of the game.
Looks like her goal has sealed the win for the United States. A 10th in a row. Hugh goes down. Perhaps one last chance to put a gloss on this for the United States. Abby Dalkemper, who hasn't scored for the United States. She hasn't gone for goal. Haran gets there first, but catching practice with a goalkeeper. Well, not are they most convincing, but another win for the United States, is he?
No, but generally across the 90, a much stronger team. Japan were poor by their standards in the first half. Good to see an improvement in the second half in terms of the intensity, ball speed. Looking a bit more like the Japan that we know. But yeah, overall, USA strong.
So full time, and the United States have reclaimed the trophy. The third time they've won the SheBelieves Cup on their own soil, of course. Having lost it to England last year. We will be back for the trophy presentation in just a few moments' time. But full time at the Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas. It's the United States 3, Japan 1.
face that way.
高倉監督です。お疲れ様でした。まず試合振り返っていただけますか。
やはりこの3試合ともそうですけど、やられてはいけないミスっていうのがやはりすごく多かったと思いますし、その辺の集中度っていうのは足りなかったなっていうのと、このチームとして勝負どころっていうものを感じる力であったり、そこでこうパワーを持ってくるっていうことに関して、まだまだやらなければいけない、そこら辺は集計できるかなというふうに思います。
今おっしゃったように大会通じてミスがとにかく多いと、何が原因だと考えていますか。
トライ、積極的な自分たちのサッカーをするっていう意味でのトライはしてくれてると思いますけれども、やはり、時間帯、場所、相手の状況によっては、もちろん大きく蹴り出してであったりとか、そういう選択っていうのは選手には求めてますけれども、選手自身が考えて選択していることの中で技術的なミス、判断ミスっていうことが起きているので、その辺はシーズンが入ってくればまた集中度っていうのは上がってくるかなっていう部分もありますので、ポジティブに考えながら次に進んでいきたいなと思います。
その選択の部分、とっさのその判断力だとか対応力っていうのはどういったふうに具体的に修正していく必要があるんでしょうか。
具体的に本当にゲームの中での、集中度だと思います。それだけが足りないと思います。
ありがとうございます。お願いします。熊谷選手です。お疲れ様です。まず試合振り返っていただきます。
そうですね、アメリカ相手に、前半から自分たちの狙いとしてた戦いは他の2戦に比べてできたこともあったかなとは思いますけど、やっぱ自分たちのミスから失点で早い時間帯に、本当にミスから与えて、そこをしっかり仕留められてっていう、本当にこれが世界との差だなっていうところも、しっかり痛感しながら、反省点の残る試合にはなったかなと思います。
攻守ともにビルドアップの部分がポイントになったのかなと思います。手応え、課題どのように感じていますか。
そうですね、もちろん手応えも感じる部分はありますけど、やっぱ自分たちが失ったところから今大会、ほぼほぼやられているので、そういったところをもう一つチームとして回し方、ボールの持ち方考えなきゃいけないところもあると思いますし、やっぱ失った後どれだけ後ろが我慢できるかってところも大きな課題になるかなと思うので、次に向けてまた出直してというか、しっかりこの課題を修正できるようにしていきたいなと思います。
オリンピックまで時間が限られる中で、キャプテンとしてどのように立て直していきますか。
やっぱりここの3戦で本当に、世界との差は痛感してますし、まだまだ自分たちには足りないものも多いなっていうところを、身をもって感じているので、もっともっと一人一人が危機感を持って、自分のチームに帰っても、本当に世界を意識して戦っていくしかないかなと思ってます。
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
「
celebration presented by Visa. And now, please welcome U.S. Women's National Team General Manager Kate Markgraf to the stage to present the Visa She Believes Cup MVP trophy. This year's Visa She Believes Cup MVP is Alexia Putellas from Spain.
It's the first trophy presentation. It's a special one for the Spaniard. Alexia Putellas scored the winning goal against England just earlier. Also scored against Japan in their first game. An excellent tournament for Alexia Putellas. Just one of the shining lights of the Spanish team, who, if they do things right, will go on to perhaps try and push this United States women's national team all the way.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2020 She Believes Cup champions to the stage, your U.S. Women's National Team.
A wonderful reception for the US Women's National Team.
Number 2, Mallory Pugh. Number 3, Samantha Mewis. Number 4, Becky Sauerbrunn. Number 5, Kelly O'Hara. Number 6, Andy Sullivan. Number 7, Abby Dahlkemper. Number 8, Julie Ertz. Number 9, Lindsay Horan. Number 11, Allie Krieger. Number 12, Tierna Davidson. Number 13, Lynn Williams. Number 14, Emily Sonnet. Number 15, Megan Rapinoe. Number 16, Rose Lavelle. Number 17, Tobin Heath. Number 18, Ashlyn Harris. Number 19, Crystal Dunn. Number 20, Casey Short. Number 21, Adriana Franch. Number 22, Jessica McDonald. Number 23, Kristen Press. The U.S. Women's National Staff, Jake Scotch, Greg Banks, Alan Chatage, Steve Stricker, Ellie Maybury, Philip Poole, Milan Ivanovic, and the head coach, Vlatko Andonovski. And captain number 10, Carly Lloyd.
The moment we've been waiting for then. She Believes Cup champions 2020 Once again, it is the United States of America. '20 has started very well for the United States. We'll have to see where it takes them. Another trophy in the cabinet for this juggernaut of a team. They're fast becoming icons in not only the sporting world, but in the wider world. Three played, 3 wins, into double figures in terms of their winning run under their new coach, Vlatko Andonovski. The good times just keep rolling for the United States of America. And so that just about does it for this year's SheBelieves Cup. We hope you've enjoyed it. Right now we'll leave you with the celebrations of the champions of the SheBelieves Cup 2020, the United States of America.